Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to share with all of you my new journey as a new mom and just going out on a limb and just being able to offer maybe some guidance or some value to all of you through my journey as a NICU mom. Had a baby in the NICU for 20 days, which for a lot of NICU moms is very, very short. But regardless, I think being in the NICU is an experience. And it was definitely something that I learned from. So I'm excited to share with all of you. So please keep watching. So this here, my little man, this is Lorenzo. He is 8 weeks old yesterday. Um, he's absolutely perfect. I'm so happy being a mom. It's something that I always wanted, and so now that I have my little man, it's pretty cool. But man, where to start? So when I was pregnant, I had polyhydramnios. I'm not really 100% sure how to say it, but and which means I had an excessive amount of amniotic fluid. For me, I was on the severe side. So for the last like 10 weeks of my pregnancy, I went every single week to the high risk doctor, and they did the non-stress tests and the ultrasounds, and some of the ultrasounds were 30 minutes long because little man wasn't practicing breathing, which is something that they do. So they told me, they wanted me to have the NICU in the delivery room with me, just to make sure that everything was okay, because I did all of the tests. They test you for like 5 different things, like blood tests and gestational diabetes and, man, all these different things. And I hate giving blood. I hate needles. I was like, ugh. And that is one thing that comes along with pregnancy. So be ready for that. Um, and yeah, so when the baby was born, we actually ended up having to do an emergency C-section after 26 hours of labor. I made it to 6 centimeters on my own, and then I decided to get an epidural, and I'm glad that I did. My personal experience, it was not that painful at all. It was way less painful than contractions for sure. And that was just personally what happened for me. So 26 hours. Ooh, it was a long time. Yeah, anyway. Ended up having to do an emergency C-section because every time that they would increase the Pitocin, his heart rate would drop significantly. And once I delivered, they found out it was because the umbilical cord was all sorts of wrapped up um, around his neck and his hands and everything, because he had so much space. I was actually 41 weeks in size when I was 35 weeks pregnant. So when I was 28, I was like 32 or 34 weeks. So I was very, very large at the end. I mean, huge and uncomfortable. And yeah, just giant. Anyways, I knew when he was born that something was up, basically because he was kind of like gasping for air and not necessarily like breathing. I got to give him a kiss, and then they took him to the NICU, and then the doctor came back and told me that he has something that's called a TEF, which means that his esophagus and stomach were not connected. So he just had a little esophagus with a little pouch on the bottom, so it just, if he were to swallow, it would just go in there and sit there, and he would choke, and it would come back up. And then his stomach was actually connected to the side of his trachea. So it was scary. It was sad. It was hard. Mm. Just, never something that you think that you're ever going to have to deal with. You think that it's something you'll just see online and you'll comment praying for you, or that you'll say prayers for someone else that you've heard of, or it's just a story that someone has told you, but you never think that it's something that you're ever going to experience in your life, that your child's going to need to be in the NICU. So when that happened, I was devastated. I mean, I broke down. I don't think I've ever been so sad in my life. And but I had faith that everything was going to be okay, because I saw how beautiful he was. And look at him. I'm talking about you. And so I got to see him. He was born at 9:07, and then at night, and then they brought him in at like 11:30 in this big transportation box thing. and my heart was broken. I could only touch his hand because I had a C-section, so I couldn't really move very well, and they barely fit the box thing in there. My husband had to go up the next day on his own. Um, that first night was really hard for us, for sure, very very hard. So my husband went up there and FaceTimed me, and uh, I got to see my little man for the first time, and he was perfect, absolutely perfect. So it was a tough 20 days in the NICU, and in the future I'll go through everything maybe a little bit more in detail, but uh, I was there every single day almost next to his bedside. A special shout out to the Ronald McDonald House in Jacksonville, Florida, for taking me in and making me feel loved and comfortable and feeding me every single day, because I probably wouldn't have eaten very well, um, just from sitting in a hospital room all day and no light, and uh, it was just really a tough experience. But he had his surgery and he did great. The doctor said, it was textbook, which, we were very thankful for. And so we've been doing the follow-up appointments thus far. Him being 8 weeks old, he's had already 3 doctor's appointments, and they said that he looks perfect. He's all the specialists are really impressed with how he's doing and how he's healing. And um, long term, there shouldn't be anything that he'll worry about. They said that as we go through milestones, like when he starts walking, if he is hard of breathing or running, and when he plays his first soccer game with his dad, and all of those kinds of things. So God is good, and he's taking care of us. And to have my child home now and to be able to be with him, and uh, it's been a very tough journey, but very beautiful as well, because it's brought all of us together closer. It's definitely given me even more gratitude to God and for all that he's given to us, and that he's been so kind to us, and that our little man is okay and healthy, and that he's home. Because I think about all those moms that are in the NICU that don't get to bring their babes home. It still makes me emotional because it's not easy being there. But I pray for them and I think about them often. So, but I thank all of you for, there was so much love that was given to us during our journey, which is really what has inspired me to want to YouTube and to share more about what's going on in life, because I think it's just a really great platform to be able to inspire others and to be able to help, and to just talk real, and to know that you're not alone, and that other people are going through things too, and to have the courage to share the journey. And I cannot wait to share my journey with you guys. If you have anything specific that you want to hear about or know more about, or I would love to share with you, so you can comment, and just please like and subscribe. This is something completely new for me, but I figured why not do it. It's a beautiful platform to be able to really just give and to share and to inspire and to help. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a beautiful rest of your day.